All right, today we're going to dive into something pretty profound. We're looking at the teachings of the shaman Don Juan, and it all boils down to one huge idea: how to break free from a life that just feels stuck on repeat. You know that feeling, right? Where the alarm goes off and you just go through the motions. Monday feels like Tuesday, which feels like Friday. It's that daily grind that can start to feel a little empty, a little meaningless. If you've ever felt trapped in that loop, then this is for you. Okay, so let's get right into it with the first pretty mind-bending concept from Don Juan. He says that the world we see, the one we live in every day, it's not actually the real world. It's just a description of it, a story that's been fed to us since the moment we were born. I mean, think about that. It's a powerful idea. We're basically living inside a mental cage built by everyone else. Our parents, our teachers, our whole society. They all tell us what's right, what's wrong, what's possible. And eventually we just accept this description as reality, which really, really limits what we can actually experience. And this quote, this gets right to the heart of it. The real prison isn't out there somewhere. It's the little voice inside our own heads, that constant chatter that just keeps reinforcing that old story. So Don Juan's first step to freedom? You have to silence that voice. You have to stop the world by stopping your own internal dialogue. So if we're trapped by this description, how in the world do we get out? Well, the cool thing is, Don Juan doesn't just point out the problem and leave us hanging. He actually gives us a map, a clear, actionable plan with 3 powerful paths to erase that old programming and get our freedom back. And here they are. These are the 3 pillars of his teaching. Now, I know they might sound a little weird, maybe even a bit intense at first glance, but trust me, each one is a really practical tool for taking apart that cage we're living in. So let's break them down. First up, erase your personal history. Now, in our world of social media, this sounds like madness, right? We're all about crafting our personal brand, sharing our story. Don Juan says, do the exact opposite. Stop telling people everything you do. Stop letting your past define who you are today. When you do this, it creates this kind of fog around you. People can't pin you down with their expectations anymore. And you become totally free to be whoever you want to be, right here, right now. Don Juan just cuts right to the heart of why this is so hard for us. He says our problem is we're all too damn real. We take ourselves, our feelings, our dramas way, way too seriously. And this attachment to our own story is a massive weight, which leads us perfectly into the second path, losing self-importance. Just picture it. Self-importance is literally like wearing blinders. When we think we're the main character in everyone's story, our ego gets super fragile. We get offended by the smallest things. We get obsessed with our own problems. And all we can see is me, me, me. We completely miss the incredible mystery and magic of the world that's happening all around us. When it comes down to it, losing your self-importance is really about humility. It's that profound gut-level feeling that you are not the center of the universe. That a plant, a river, even a simple stone, they all have an existence just as valid and important as yours. Seeing the world that way, well, that lets you connect with everything from a place of awe, not ego. And now, we get to the third path. And honestly, this one might be the most powerful of them all: befriending death. We're all taught to fear death, to push it away. Don Juan flips that completely. He says death isn't some far-off enemy. No, it's your closest advisor, your eternal companion. And it's always right there, sitting just over your left shoulder. So let's make this real. Imagine you're just completely overwhelmed. You're stressed out, you're impatient, maybe you're stuck in traffic, and your problems just feel like the biggest, most important things in the world. In that moment, what's the most powerful thing you can do? The answer is so simple, but it is so deep. You just turn to your left and ask that companion for advice. In an instant, that single act shatters your self-importance. I mean, really, in the face of your own mortality, how important is that traffic jam? How big is that little argument you had? Death's counsel just cuts through all the BS and shows you what truly, truly matters. So, what happens when you actually put all of this together? When you erase your past, lose your ego, and befriend death? You start to live what Don Juan calls the way of the hunter. Now, this isn't about hunting animals. It's a metaphor for living as a being of total awareness, of purpose, and of flawless action. And the difference is just, it's night and day. On one side, you have the prey. That's the ordinary person. They're stuck in predictable routines defined by their past and easily hunted by life's little problems.
But on the other side, you have the hunter, fluid, unpredictable, and totally free. They can't be pinned down by a past or an ego.
I love this idea of touching the world lightly or sparingly. What does that really mean? It means a hunter isn't needy. They're not trying to force their will on people or situations. They interact with intention, they take only what they need, and then they move on without a big fuss. That's how they hold on to their freedom.
And all of this, it all builds up to this one final, incredibly practical philosophy for how you can live your daily life. It's a way to turn every single boring, mundane moment into something sacred, something powerful. And it's the idea of treating every single action as if it were your last battle on Earth.
Think about how this just flips everything on its head. A hunter knows death is right there, so there's literally no time for hesitation, or getting annoyed at petty things, or doing things halfway. Every single act, whether it's writing an email, having a conversation, or just washing the dishes, is done with full power and focus, as if it were the last thing they'll ever get to do.
So this isn't just some abstract philosophy to think about. It's a direct challenge. It forces us to look at the very next thing we're about to do and ask ourselves, if this were my last battle on Earth, how would I do it? So, what's your next act going to be?